Okay. So let's say today we are taking up overseas travel insurance. Very interesting product and very competitive product in the market. We have come with the improvisation in the product recently, and we have relaunched it. Relaunched in the sense certain improvements were made in accordance with the guidelines of the insurance, and then now our product is updated and it is relaunched. So what is overseas travel insurance? Why it is required? What are the nitty-gritties of these products? Those all things we are going to understand. Listen carefully. I am sharing with you the presentation of the product. Yes. Today, fire insurance, are you sure? It is, yes, of course. So, should we go with the fire? Sure? If all of you are agree, I will continue with the overseas travel, or tomorrow we will take a fire if you want fire today. Of course, this confusion is there, but okay, tomorrow we will take up the fire. Okay. Right. So let's see the overseas travel. So first thing is plans. What plans we are going to offer? What are the benefits of various sections? What premium rates are applicable? How the claims will be processed? What will be our USP? These are the important aspects of this product. Reason being, every person who is going overseas, means abroad, for any purpose, in abroad, the most complicated situation is treatment cost is very costly. In any case of medical emergency, it is difficult to afford the treatment cost in abroad. So the coverage related to the personal accident, medical emergency, death, loss of belongings, flight cancellation, delay in unfortunate events, all these benefits are included in the products. Now the core benefit is medical expenses. Reason being, with any person, anything can happen. This body is also a machinery. If any part is creating trouble or any medical emergency is required, immediate treatment is the need of the hour, and for immediate treatment, maybe the higher cost one has to incur. So for those unexpected medical expenses, this policy provides the core benefit that is covered under the policy. So the core offer is coverage of medical expenses, but in addition to the medical expenses, checked baggage, loss of delay, financial emergency, third party liability, personal accident, all these are also included. So the purpose of the travel could be anything. Maybe a person is going abroad for business purpose, for official purpose, for holiday purpose, leisure purpose, study purpose, for any purpose. If the country of his purpose or object is visited, in that case, this policy is required. This is not mandatory. I don't say this is mandatory or compulsory by any law, but this is required because this policy provides the worldwide coverage for Indian residents. And basically this policy is meant for Indian residents only. But at the same time, the foreign nationals who are working in India with Indian employer of multinational companies and getting salary in INR, this Indian national rupees, can also be considered for this coverage. Means those people or person who are not Indian residents, they are foreign nationals who are working in India with any Indian employer, getting their salary in Indian national rupees, can be given this policy. Secondly, foreign nationals who are domiciled in India, who are settled in India, can also be covered subject to verification of ITR. ITR means income tax return. If they are filing return in India, they are domiciled of India, but they are foreign nationals. Like you may be knowing a celebrity called Tom Elton. He was settled and domiciled of India. So such person can also appeal. This policy is for accompanying spouse and children of the person. They are also covered while going for overseas travel. So any purpose, business trip, official trip, holiday trip, excursion trip, study trip, these all objects are covered. Now we have got 3 plans under this policy. 3 plans means Shri Travel, low benefit, low coverage plan available at lower cost. Shri Travel Plus, a little wider, a little higher cost. Shri Travel Elite, the widest one, highest one. So these 3 individual travel plans are available to the SCI, and all these 3 plans are to offer to the customers. Now in all these 3 plans, 16 benefits in all are covered, and these 16 benefits are most important. Important in the sense they are part of the policy, none of them is an add-on cover, no extra cost is required. These are all inbuilt coverage of the policy, and they are numbered as the benefit 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So let's see the first benefit, that is medical cover, including medical evacuation. If any medical emergency is there in the abroad, company will pay the customer a reasonable medical expenses incurred for treatment during the trip subject to maximum sum insured as per plan. This maximum sum insured is important part because this is as per the plan selected by the customer. Each plan has the different sum insured limit, and to that extent only the company will reimburse the medical expenses. So reasonable medical expenses word is used for the purpose if the expenses incurred are less than the sum insured limit. In that case, those reasonable medical expenses shall be paid. If they are higher than the sum insured limit, in that case the maximum sum insured. So the first benefit, that is the core benefit that provides the medical coverage for any or every policyholder who is requiring the medical treatment or medical expenses coverage at the abroad, because these expenses will be reimbursed under benefit 1. Benefit 2, daily allowance in case of hospitalization. Daily allowance in case of hospitalization. If the policyholder is falling sick or suffered any injury or disability, is hospitalized, he or she is hospitalized, and the hospitalization is for more than 2 consecutive days. In that case, company will pay a daily compensation in case of hospitalization for the period of the hospitalization. But if the person is hospitalized for 2 days only, in that case nothing will be paid. So this hospitalization daily cash allowance will start from the 3rd. Benefit 3, dental treatment. This is a rare benefit covered by the insurance companies because normally dental treatment is excluded from the coverage. Dental treatment is something which can happen at any time to anyone, and normally very controversial also. So normally insurance companies are not covering, but we are providing this coverage also, and we will reimburse whatever cost is incurred by the customer in connection with the treatment of any injury or illness to his tooth or teeth. Teeth means set of teeth. During the trip, subject to maximum sum insured as per plan. One point I have to make it clear, but this sum insured is section wise. Each section has got a separate sum insured. So if the dental treatment is required, the expenses reimbursable by the company are subject to the sum insured limit of this section, not of the policy section. So this third benefit is also covered, that is known as dental treatment. Section 4, total loss of checked-in baggage. Normally when going abroad, you have to travel by air only, except few surrounding countries like Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Otherwise, you have to travel by air or by sea route. So when you are going by air, checked-in baggage is there. And if this checked-in baggage is lost, maybe by the mistake of airport authorities or by the aircrew staff or by any reason, if you are not getting your checked-in baggage, in that case the compensation will be paid by the company for permanent loss of checked-in baggage based on the market value of the contents as on the expected arrival date. What was in your checked-in baggage, nobody knows. So when the company will reimburse that, they will ask the detail, what was there in the checked-in baggage that has lost. So that detail you have to provide, and the market value of those checked-in baggage will also be considered, because the company will not reimburse on the purchase value. Market value means what is the value today. So that will be assessed by the company assessors. In that case, loss of checked-in baggage will be reimbursed. Benefit fifth is delay of checked-in baggage. Sometimes some celebrities, some star performers, or even some leaders or orators or speakers going abroad to deliver their performance or their shows. Maybe a very short trip is there for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, depends. In such a case, if checked-in baggage is not received in time, so their performance, their lecture, their activity can be delayed or even suspended, means cancelled. In such a case, that person will suffer the losses. So for delay of checked-in baggage, company will pay a fixed sum in case the customer encounters a delay in receipt of his or her checked-in baggage beyond the specified period. What is that beyond the specified period is, that is mentioned, and that we will let you know just now. So in case of delay of checked-in baggage, company will pay a fixed sum. Benefit 6, loss of passport. When you are going abroad, passport is your identity, because your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, your ration card, or driving license, these are applicable to our own country. But for abroad, passport is the ID proof. And if that passport is lost, in that case, company will neither arrange a passport nor will provide a duplicate passport. Company will pay the expenses incurred in obtaining duplicate passport. Means this is possible to arrange a duplicate passport from the other countries also. because embassies are there in every country. So whatever cost is incurred in arranging or obtaining a duplicate passport, that cost will be reimbursed under this section, that is loss of passport. Simple, very clear, because insurance company is not going to provide a duplicate passport or to arrange a passport. That is not the work of insurance company. On the contrary, if it is proved that the loss of passport is there, the police report is there, in that case, company will pay the expenses incurred in obtaining the duplicate passport. Next benefit is personal liability. So this personal liability means in abroad, there could be any incident whereby the person has become legally liable to a third party under the statutory liability provisions of that country. Maybe some accidental death has happened, some injury has happened, some damage to the health of the other person has happened, or damage to property has taken place. Under all these circumstances, the law of that country will make you liable, legally liable rather. So whatever order of compensation is given to you, that order will be honored by the company, and the company will compensate the insured in the event of insured becomes legally liable. This is a very good provision, because the law of our country is known to us. Maybe everybody is not advocate, but still, as a man of ordinary prudence or as a man of common sense, we understand our law. But we don't know the law of other countries. And there, if any such incident takes place, our any action is causing injury to any person, property damage to any person, health damage to any person, or even accidental death to any person, obviously we will become legally liable. So as far as the financial compensation is there, company will honor, company will pay under the provision of personal liability section. If the imprisonment is given, that the person has to bear, he has to suffer, he has to undergo the behind the bars. But if any financial compensation has to be paid, that the company will indemnify as per the sum insured limit. Next benefit is personal accident. This is a very common incident. This can happen anywhere, with any person, at any time, by any reason. Nobody knows. So personal liability and personal accident are two different things. Personal liability is to a third party, personal accident to himself. So personal accident can cause the death or permanent disability, maybe total in nature or partial in nature, arising any time during the period of insurance. That will be covered under the personal accident section, and for that the company will pay as per the limit of the, or the sum insured limit of the section. So personal accident coverage is also there, personal liability coverage is also there. Benefit 9 is hijack distress alarms. You may be hearing at times the planes are hijacked, maybe due to political reasons or some terrorist activity, due to some terrorist activity. The planes are hijacked. Now when a plane is hijacked, there is not a single person who is suffering. It's a common carrier. So in such a case, the distress is there. A distress of severe nature could be there, because such incident takes place at the gunpoint. So maybe everybody is taken into the custody. They are threatened at the gunpoints. Maybe sometimes persons are killed also. Suppose some 200 plus passengers are there in the flight, and one person is shot at by the terrorists. So the remaining 199 will be under serious distress. So for such circumstances, the company shall pay to the insured compensation in the event of a hijack of a common carrier and with the insured is travelling on a trip abroad. Some insured limit is there, how much company will pay. Only thing is, it has to prove on record that the plane was hijacked. Benefit 10, financial emergency assistance. Financial emergency in abroad is a very strange thing. But it can happen. It can happen due to some criminal activity of any third person, maybe of any country. And that criminal activity could be theft, mugging, robbery, dacoity. So the funds are gone. When the funds are gone, you are in financial emergency. In such a case, the company will compensate in the event of such incident up to the extent of the sum issue. Good provision this is. Next one is trip cancellation and interruption. We are going to abroad. We are planning it since months together. Now finally, when at the time of execution, some strange thing happens, some uncontrollable thing happens. Because of that, you have to cancel your trip. As a couple, you have to mute yourself. Mr. Kapil Jagendra, you have to mute yourself. Yes. So financial emergency due to criminal reasons and trip cancellation or interruption, maybe by the natural reasons. What could be those natural reasons? Arising out of the earthquake, storm, flood, terrorism, and other similar conversions of nature. These are the perils which are uncontrollable and cannot be controlled by any person, authority or department. Even the predictions cannot be a safeguard, because if an earthquake has to come, it will come. It has to hit the person's property and people, it will. If a terrorist activity has to happen, it will happen. So because of these reasons, a trip has to be cancelled or it is interrupted, descheduled. In that case, the person may suffer the losses. So the insured is entitled to get financial loss incurred due to this reason on the cancellation of the trip. Benefit 12, missed flight connection. Missed flight connection means I have to go to USA. On the way, my flight will stay somewhere and I have to take the connected flight. I am going back to Canada. And in Canada, I have to take the flight for the New York. Now I missed flight, connecting flight, by any reason. Failure of the insured to access to the connecting flight, arising out of an inconsequent upon the delayed arrival of the earlier flight, means my flight reached late. That your flight already took off. So I could not reach in time. Connecting flight missed. That means my journey cannot be completed. So that kind of loss is also payable under the policy if it is caused by the missed flight connection. Benefit 13, trip delay. If my journey has to start, the departure of the insured gets delayed at place of origin, where from I am starting the journey. But it is delayed due to earthquake, flood, terrorism, etc. In that case, a specified sum will be paid. Section wise limit will come into the picture and that amount will be paid to me by the company. So this is the benefit 13, that is trip delay. Benefit 14, goal for income. This is a typical section and this is available only in the third plan, that is travel elite. And first two travel and travel plans, this risk is not covered. Goal for in one means this is a luxury. Luxury means if the insured or the policy holder is a member of United Golfers Association and he is playing the golf, if he failed to achieve the hole in one, that has caused to him the financial loss, that will be reimbursed under the goal for in one section. So this is only for the elite class. In other two plans it is not there. And the limit of payment is also there, that is US dollar 500 rupees only. So this is subject to maximum of US dollar 500. The next one is bail bond insurance. This bail bond insurance is very important. Normally you will not find this kind of coverage in others' policy. But we are providing this coverage and we will reimburse towards the bail amount for release of the insured if he is arrested for any inadvertent violation of the law in country of travel subject to a maximum of rupees 500. That means if he has violated any rule or regulation of that country where he has gone, and that country has arrested him, taken him to the custody, they will release him only after submission of the bail bond. And nobody is there to submit the bail bond. In that case, company will provide a bail bond up to the US dollar 500. And these kind of things are normally happening in other countries. Say for example, Singapore is there. So where if you are spitting on the public place, you can be taken into the custody. You can be fined immediately, or if the offence is of serious nature, you are continuously doing it, you can be taken into the custody also. So even for normal these things, because we are not aware of the regulation or rules or law of that country, so this kind of incident can happen with anyone. So this bail bond insurance will help in that situation. And the last one is trip curtailment. Trip curtailment means trip is not completed fully. It has to be curtailed. If it is curtailed due to some reasons like accidental death, serious injury, sudden sickness of your spouse or child, or hijack of an aircraft. So these are the situations beyond control. You cannot even continue your journey. Your trip has to be curtailed, cut short. In that case, company will indemnify the insured for loss of personal accommodation or travel charges paid or contracted to be paid by the insured following the necessary and unavoidable curtailment. So this cutting short by early return to India must be due to these reasons only. That is accidental death, serious injury, sudden sickness of your spouse or child, or the hijack of an aircraft in which you are traveling. So in short, these are the 16 benefits covered under the policy. But this is important to know. What is the sum insured limit? This I will show you, and I will expand this sheet so that you can see it clearly. This is most important to understand. I think you can see it clearly now. So this is the plan benefit. Now you see the first one, that is medical expenses. If you are taking Shri Travel, our first plan, that is the lowest plan. So here, this can be given to the person of 90 days to 55 years. All these three plans are available for the child of 90 days to a person of 55 years, not more than that. And the sum insured will differ plan to plan. For Shri Travel, the sum insured for medical expenses is $5 lakh. This is medical expenses benefit limit, $5 lakh. For Shri Travel Plus, this limit is 10 lakh. Age limit is the same, 90 days to 55 years. And to Travel Elite, the financial limit is 2 lakh rupees. So see the difference. Travel Plus is only for $55 lakhs. Travel Plus 10 lakh and Travel Plus 20 lakh. I am correct or wrong? This is 50,000, 1 lakh and 2 lakh. Yes, it is 50,000, 1 lakh and 2 lakh. Sorry, my apologies. This is 50,000, 1 lakh and 2 lakh. So medical expenses limit according to the table plans is limited to 50,000, 1 lakh and 2 lakh. For cashless hospitalization, that is also applicable here. For repatriation of remains, that is also part of this coverage. Here again the limit is $1,000, 1,500 and 2,000. Some initial limit benefit of each benefit is there. For dental treatment, this is common in all three plans, that is $250. Total loss of checked in baggage is again common, $500 in each plan. Loss of passport, $200 only in all three plans. Personal liability differs plan to plan. In Shri Travel it is $25,000, in Travel Plus it is 50,000, and in Travel Elite also this is 50,000. Personal accident limit is worth 10,000 in Travel. Travel Plus 15,000 and Travel Elite 15,000. So that way the section limit are provided. But in case of golf or hole-in-one, you will see this section is given only for the Travel Elite, that is $500. Here in Travel Plus this is not covered. In Travel Elite it is not covered. Another important differentiation is this travel plan is also not covering few more sections like trip cancellation, travel delay, golf for hole-in-one, bail bond and trip curtailment. So this is a low plan available at a low premium and provide the low benefit limits. All limits increases in case of Travel Plus and the highest limits are applicable to Travel Elite. This is the difference. Simultaneously the time limits are also given for checked in baggage and for other purposes. And at the same time, for each claim, there is a $100 is the compulsory deductible. $100 is the compulsory deductible. If the checked in baggage is delayed for more than 12 hours, the company will reimburse. So delay time is also specified. Section benefit amount is also specified. Compulsory access limit is also specified. Everything is clear according to the plan. Now, how the premium will be calculated? Premium will depend upon the three factors. These are age, days of travel and country of visit. I repeat, premium will depend upon following three factors: age, days of travel and country of visit. How the age will work? If the proposer is say of 40 years and 7 months, so in that case, the age will be rounded off to 41 years. If the proposer is of 40 years of 4 months or 5 months, the age will be rounded up to 40 years only. So for the purpose of premium to be charged, the completed age of the person will be taken into consideration. Another factor, number of days. Number of days, how they will be considered? First of all policies will be issued, means all three plans will be issued for a maximum of 180 days. 180 days means 6 months. So initially, if the insured want, he can select the plan even for 30 days, even for 90 days. But the maximum days available are 180 days. Thereafter, again, if the same proposer wants the extension, that extension is available, but on conditions. Conditions means extension is conditional if it is required in case of more than 180 days. What conditions are to be required to complete? First, the original policy period has not expired, means the proposer has to apply for extension before the expiry of the policy. Second, there is no claim on the original policy. He has to confirm it. Once if he has taken any claim under any of the 16 category of benefits, the policy will not be extended. In that case, he will have to look for a new policy. Third, the declaration of good health he has to give. Fourth, extension can generally be effected only once in the policy. Means on one policy, only one extension can be given. And the extension in days not to exceed 180 days. That means the total extension, including original period, should not exceed 360 days. First policy is taken for 180 days. Another extension can be taken maximum for 180 days. Means total 360 days is the maximum limit. But this is also possible if the policy is taken for 50 days only and the extension is required for 100 days, that can be given. If the policy is taken for 120 days and the extension is required only for 50 days, that is also possible. So number of days always depends on the proposer's choice. He has to select it. Now, premium. Premium on the basis of country of visit. So this is that basic reason that was improvised and the product was relaunched. Earlier, in this plan, Australia and Japan was not there. Now, two groups are there in one, including Australia, Japan, US and Canada. Obviously, here the premium rate is higher. Second group is excluding Australia, Japan, USA and Canada. Here the premium rate will be low. So for the purpose of this insurance, the country of visit has been divided into two groups only. If the group selected is including Australia, Japan, USA and Canada, that means in the whole world the person can go anywhere. That means visa requirement has to be compliant wherever he is going. But according to the policy, the coverage is for the whole world. But in second group, in these 4 countries, he cannot visit. And if he is at petrol, he is visiting, the coverage will not be there for the policy. If any benefit is claimed under this policy will not cover in these countries, that is Australia, Japan, USA and Canada. Policy will not stop him to go to these countries. Only thing is the coverage of that policy will not be available. The benefit cannot be claimed under the policy. Now claim process. Ease of business is there because in case of any medical emergency abroad, just call the toll-free number. Your claim will be registered and the process will start. This policy can be issued online portal or otherwise individual or financial advisor can also issue. And this is the link. Now, all branches can issue this policy at their end through Nova or traveller having age less than 55 years. For any traveller who is less than 55 years who is taking this policy, branch can issue through Nova. Secondly, key features of this revamped product include comprehensive medical coverage, trip cancellation, protection and 24/7 emergency assistance worldwide and many more, because these are the part of the benefits. So this is the relaunch of this overseas travel insurance product with enhanced coverage and benefits. In addition, the unique product features are hijack distress allowance and bail-bound insurance company. These are unique because normally insurance companies are not covering them. Also additionally, on-all facilities there. Travel days are grouped rather than to calculate on day-wise. Means if I am taking the policy for 50 days, the premium not be calculated on 50 days. Groups are there. I will show you. In addition, up to the age of 55, no medical test is required. If policy is renewed in continuation, then only a person will cross the age of 55. Then only it is required. So only 2 groups in terms of visit of country. Now, if at all there is an issue, these are the contact numbers and mail ID directly provided. Person can contact with the person concerned who are named here for redressal of the grievance. Here again, this is the chart whereby it will be confirmed how the premium will be calculated. So first of all, this is clear to you all that a child of 90 days can be covered and maximum age limit is 55. So this is a premium chart applicable to 90 days to 40 years. Again, if the person is selecting first group, that is excluding USA, Canada, Australia, Japan, and selecting, say, travel elite, that is the highest plan. If he is going for 4 days only, the premium is only 744. And this is including GST. If he is taking only travel plus, premium is only 500, including GST. So 2 groups are clearly shown, excluding USA, Canada, Australia and Japan, including USA, Canada, Australia and Japan. Premium rates are different to all 3 plans because the benefit limit is also different to all 3. And the premium is based on the group of days, not on the day basis. Say suppose 91 to 120 days is one group. Person is going for 150 days or 80 days. Premium will be the same. Because this is falling in the same group. If person is going for 125 days or he is going for 145 days, premium will be the same. The major difference is in the short term. Short terms also increases 61 to 75, 76 to 90, then 91 to 130 and 131 to 150. So this is again only for the people who are up to 40 years, 90 days to 40 years. Then other chart shows 41 years to 55 years. Person who is of 55 years of age, selecting only travel plan for say 60 days, he has to pay only 20 rupees, including GST and nothing. If he is going to a country, say England, this is the premium. But if he is going to Canada, Australia or Japan, in that case this premium under the travel category will become 4,136. So that much of difference is there. Because including USA, Canada and Australia, Japan means there the cost of everything would be higher. Maybe the sum insured of particular categories of just it. Maybe you need a bigger plan as per the medical coverage. Because US dollar 50,000 will not work in USA, Canada, Australia in case of medical emergencies. If there is nothing, well and good. You are lucky in that case. If there is no medical emergency, you are lucky. Then there is nothing. No controversy is there. But in case any medical emergency is required, maybe due to the personal accident or sickness or injury or illness, so the higher sum would be useful in specifically in these countries like USA, Canada, Australia and Japan. Excluding these countries, it's okay. So this criteria has to be kept in mind when we are selling this policy to any person who is 41 to 55 years of age. Because here you can understand, a 41 plus person can need medical emergency at any point of time. Less than 40 is in person, may or may not need, unless it is accident. But 40 plus is hazardous from health point of view. Because the sicknesses, illnesses are prone at this age. And normally you can find one or two sicknesses have already started to a person of 40 plus. But in any case, the pre-existing diseases will not be covered. The sudden or accidental medical emergency will be covered. So the premium calculation chart are clear in your mind. This is up to the 40 years only. Premium is based on the group of days, not on the daily basis. For all three plans, different premium rates are there. For both the groups, different premium rates are there. According to age, two different charts are there. 90 to 40 and 41 to 55. So calculation would not be difficult. Selling of the policy will not be difficult. All 16 sections are clear to you. 6 sections of benefits are clear to you. 3 plans you can offer to anyone. Purpose of visit is not banned. This is as per the choice of the person who is going abroad. For whatever purpose he is going. Maybe he is on duty, going for official purpose. He is going for holidays or even for studies. The plan can be given. Plan can be given because the person who is going abroad will definitely prefer to take a plan. Otherwise, it would be difficult for him to afford the treatment cost in different countries. Policy is meant for the residents, Indian residents only, but two exceptions are there. And these two exceptions are applicable to those foreign nationals who are working in India with Indian employer of multinational companies, getting salary in INR, he can be given. Say for example, a person of Austria is living in India. He is working in a company. But every year he has to go to his family, not a place to meet his family. He can take our policy. He is working with Indian employer in any multinational company, getting salary in INR. He can be given. Similarly, if he has settled in India, he has become a national domicile, or you can say domicile of India. He is filing the income tax return in India. To him also you can give it. Any purpose, any Indian resident is entitled for this policy. Any purpose, any Indian resident. Only thing is, we have to take care that a foreign national is not given this policy if he is not falling under these two categories. You can give the option to a person. If you are going to a country like USA, Canada, Australia or Japan, better you take the travel relief plan because this will provide you a higher coverage of the medical category. If you are going for any purpose, not only for studies or for services, for any choices of the customer, but you can only advise because the affordability or requirement is always an issue. Higher premium means customer has to think 3 times. When he is paying the premium out of his bucket, he has to think 3 times. He will definitely prefer to take a plan which is meeting with his requirement at a lower cost. So, even Sri Travel will meet the requirement of going abroad. So that is the consideration always left at the option of the proposer or the customer because this feasibility is always the choice of the customer. They can exercise their option to select any plan. But the benefit categories are 16. They are all common almost except the Sri Travel where the 5-6 sections are not covered. But in Travel Elite all 16 benefits are covered. In Travel Plus 15 benefits are covered. So this is the overseas travel plan. Now you can ask any questions if you have doubts, any doubts in your mind. Yes, Ayush, you can ask. Morning. Nothing. See, that's per choice. If you can afford the premium of elite plan, you take the elite plan. Because the age limit you cannot reduce, but the choice of plan you can exercise. This is the premium chart. I'll show you again. Here your income is not the criteria. Your ITR is not the criteria. ITR is criteria only in case of foreign nationals. Number of days are as per your choice. Countries as per your choice. Plan you have selected. Whatever you have selected, PM will be calculated only on that basis. Yes, any other question from anyone? Come back, फिर से बोलिए. Quotation, no quotation required. Even branch can issue. Because this is available online also, and everything is clear in this PM chart. No quotation is required. हाँ वो मिल जाएगा, वो आपको, हाँ वो हम अंडरराइटर से बात करें. वैसे तो मेरे ख्याल से ब्रांचेस को दिया हुआ है मोस्ट प्रॉब्लम. Branches are already given this rater. If it is not, then underwriter can be asked. Nothing more. So if you, tell me. For that you can speak to underwriter, no problem. If there is any genuine case and you need a portal to be provided, and you can discuss with the underwriters, and they may consider your request. As of now, this is a link for online portal. This is here. So should we go for test or not? Or this is the first lecture, so for next time we should consider it. Tomorrow is fire insurance, and tomorrow we will take the test. Tomorrow at the same time you all have to join. And fire insurance is a common. After completion we can take the test. But better join at the right time. So within time we will complete it, and we'll take next 10-15 minutes we will complete the test also. So right, that's all for the day.